Yo, welcome everybody to, big flex. Welcome to the Aboutwellbeing podcast episode 4. Very happy to have you guys on. I'm extremely excited for this episode because today I'm just going to share with you my story as far as turning pro goes, which is a pretty cool little story, considering. So I'd like to just invite you to, if you haven't listened to the first or second podcast, please do so, because I talk about the backstory of the journey to getting to pro. How basically, deciding to even going after something for pro, or how we even get into the damn gym. But basically I was extremely insecure, undisciplined, uncertain. I was in a job that I hated. I was in toxic relationships. I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life, but I knew that I had huge aspirations, big dreams, wanted to achieve something, wanted to be the best, wanted to be just like the people out there that inspire everyone else, and didn't know how to get on track for that. And basically what kept me disciplined and also what taught me discipline was gym and training, and becoming obsessed with health and high performance, and learning a lot about yourself and taking responsibility for yourself so that you can continuously overcome yourself. That is the goal. That is how we should live by, continuously overcoming ourselves. So whatever 1.0 version of yourself is, if you used to say when you got stressed out, something stressful happens, I'm going to punch a cone and worry about it tomorrow. 2.0 version of yourself says, no, I'm going to take responsibility for this. I'm going to write this stuff down, figure it out in my head, and then get to it. And, a whole bunch of stress has gone from your life because you're leaning into that resistance. Bum, 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 bum. So, all of those things were happening. And I had entered a competition to sort of prove to myself, my first bodybuilding competition. I entered that competition to prove myself that I could do something and achieve something by myself. I had been in competitions, dancing, singing, acting, and doing a bunch of things. And I used to, I succeeded pretty well in those things. And we got dance, used to do hip hop type dancing stuff when I was young, and we won Australian national titles quite regularly. But all of that was instructed. All of that, I was young, had people were helping me all the time. You know, I wouldn't think of an audition, go for it. I'd just get sent to them, and give them a crack. But this is a competition that I wanted to do for myself. Someone had said to me at the gym, whoa, you've got a pretty decent body for someone who hasn't joined a gym, who's been working at home. I was like, well, my home gym is lit, bruh. So it was a really good home gym setup. But so I did that, proved something to myself, and was like, all right, where do I want to go from here? Always knew that I wanted to turn pro or do something, and it was kind of like, when? That's a really good note to kind of take, where do you want to turn pro, and when are you going to give yourself the chance to do it? Well, think about that. That's extremely important, because you don't just have to actually enter a competition and turn pro in something to be pro. I think, or what a really good terminology for actually turning pro would be set yourself a goal for something that's achievable, where you have to experience vulnerability, and if you achieve that, you're a fucking pro. So I did that first bodybuilding competition, 2 years off, basically fell deep into the pits again after that, or a whole bunch of things, same thing, job, not sure what I'd do, career, hated that, took the relationship, and then I entered another competition which was a lot bigger, decided to travel for it. The SA show, won that one, Melbourne show, come second in that one, went to nationals, Gold Coast, and won that, and that was in the PCA. And then from there, basically I got some feedback from some really high quality people, and they said, you don't belong in this stage, go for the big one. And that was the permission that I needed. Oh, puppy, trying to cuddle me. That was the permission that I needed to give myself to be like, all right, we're on. Do the fucking big comp, give yourself a crack at it. And I built it up. I always looked at myself personally. I looked at WBFF pro athletes, and especially in the fitness category, and I thought wow, God damn damn, I want to be those guys, and damn, I want to have that, and I want to be that inspiration, and I want to, you know, optimize myself that I can achieve something like that, and prove to myself that I'm worth something, prove to myself that I can do it. And yeah, so basically I made that decision, and throughout this time I had been I've been researching like an absolute beast on health, nutrition, being my best self. I was doing plant medicine ceremonies like mushrooms and ayahuasca. I was constantly doing reflective writing, reflective courses, reflective books. Real Ambition is a good one, and Jordan Peterson's self-authoring course, really good, helped me get extremely clear. I figured out a whole bunch of different things because I'm natural. What did I have to do extra to give myself an advantage against the people that are taking steroids, because, you know, they're going to be bigger and leaner than I'm ever going to be, so I'm going to have to come in as lean as them, and how the goddamn am I going to do it? And that was a whole bunch of research and using things like fasting, ice baths, saunas, making sure that I was meditating properly, sleeping as best as possible, because sleeping is when you burn the most amount of fat. So I was doing all of that, and I focused so intently on that for a few months, and I was so spot on. In that time, as I said, I was completely bulletproof. If you had asked me to do anything, bang, it would have got done, like immediately. I was so completely on. I'm still pretty on now, to be to be completely honest. All those disciplines that I learnt are definitely still here now, which is amazing. I set a target. I wanted to get vulnerable, show everyone that I could do something, prove to myself that I could do something that I set my mind to, and I went out there and goddamn did it, which is great. So basically the steps leading up to the pro show, I was doing like a lot of walking. I knew exactly what I was doing. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I had no room for a bunch of other things. I got really good at saying no to people for certain things. Not in a bad way, doing this. I'd have to explain things properly. Oh, Corey, would you like to come out to this social event? Oh, no, sorry. I'm actually 4 weeks out from a competition, and I would love to come. But unfortunately, I'm completely committed to this, and I just bear with me for this couple of weeks, because I really got to get this done, and it means a lot to me. So I'm sorry I can't come. And saying no to certain foods, you'd be out and about or at work, and they're, oh, Corey, you want to have this cake? Because I'm working in an office. You want to have this cookie or these things? And I'd say, no, sorry, unfortunately, I can't eat those things because of these various reasons. But getting good at saying no to certain things like that, and making sure that you're not in an environment where you can cheat or do something is extremely important. So what I did during that time, I got so focused on my routine. It was perfect, and it was so optimized, and I felt amazing. Like I had energy just coming out of like just all areas. And as well with my prep, I did it a little bit differently with bodybuilding. A lot of the time, the last couple of weeks, you come in there and you're like, I feel so shit. I probably had a couple of down days, but most of the time I was just energetic. I just felt great. I was doing things in line with my DNA. I got like a DNA test done and figured all that stuff out, and decided to optimize all of that as well, which was fantastic. But yeah, what I wanted to talk about is, hold on, let me just finish this WBFF story. So what happened was, entered the competition, and I think the day beforehand or the day of the competition, I didn't realize how much I actually wanted it until that day. For myself personally, I convinced myself that this is just a trial, just a test to see if I like this competition, to see if I want to stay in it, because it's got the glitz, the glamour, it's fitness, fashion, has all of those different things in there, like that. Those kind of play to my strengths, because I've been dancing my whole life, I've been on stage my whole life. It's very easy for me to, get up there and show my stuff and pretend to be confident when you're nervous. So yeah, it was that day which I figured out how much I wanted to win it. And I had I think it was an hour and a half to myself, and I put on a meditation, and I was listening to a common meditation that I listen to all the time. It was Alan Watts meditation, just on YouTube while I was there, because I liked that one and I was comfortable, and you kind of get excited and stressed about these things, and I was feeling the emotions of being stressed and excited during those times. Mind you, the WBFF do some really cool stuff. The day before the competition, they have a big gala event where you go there, and it's actually quite amazing. You meet all the fitness people, and everyone's like dehydrated and really thirsty, and it feels like you should be drinking, like getting drunk at the event, but like you can't. But you feel like you should be. And yeah, leading on to that, oh sorry, I'm just going to start before I get to the meditation as well. One of the days I had a spray tan as well. I went into the spray tan room, and obviously someone I was competing against was in there, and they looked amazing. And I was just had all this self-talk. I was prepping myself up, mindset, visualizing, making sure that I was just like everything was going my way the weeks leading up to the competition, and I couldn't be defeated by anything. And I was just completely believing in myself. That's like a whole bunch of like the mindset stuff that I was doing leading up to that. And yeah, I saw someone, and they were like in the same tan room, and I was like, oh my fucking gosh. This guy looks so good, I'm fucked. And then basically I was in like a mental war of just saying, it's not just the rigs they compete on, it's the presentation, it's the attitude on stage, it's how you look, it's how you pose, it's all the rest of it. And also, how do you know that they're not looking at you saying the exact same thing? How do you, I was in a constant war with myself in my mind saying, you're not good enough, yes you are. You're not good enough, yes you are. And trying to figure everything out. So I think that's a really important nugget to put away, is that when you do get triggered for something and you do self-doubt, especially when you're getting vulnerable for something, not to reflect it on the other person and compare, because results do speak for themselves. And you got to give yourself the best opportunity. You got to be your biggest supporter. And yeah, when you're comparing yourself and you're self-doubting yourself like that, getting out of that hole and being aware, I'm self-doubting myself right now. That is fucking huge. If you can acknowledge that yourself, like in the present moment, that you're self-doubting, that is massive, because now you got something to work towards, which I was lucky enough to do. And I was just a constant battle, because I kept coming up, feeling up, nervous, sick, blah, whatever. And also the guy on night, seeing all the people, like, oh, you just immediately, your brain starts comparing straight away. What does that guy look like? What does that guy, is he bigger? Blah, 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 straight away. And yes, so what happened was, yeah, that day I was meditating, get back to the meditation story, and I was thinking about all these things, and I was letting instead of what happens is when you get nervous and excited, you know, when you're kind of just like, oh gosh, I'm so nervous, or oh gosh, I'm like excited for this, oh, kind of, butterflies in my belly. And you kind of swallow it. In my meditation, as I was thinking, those feelings were coming up. And I was like, you know what, let's just, gotta lean into these. Obstacles the way, Ryan Holiday, if you haven't read a book, good shit. I haven't even read the book, I actually just watched the YouTube summary and I got a lot out of that. But I will read the book anyway, because it was so good. I was leaning into it, and I let those emotions sort of like boil up and then just like explode. And basically what happened was, I realized how much I was going to care about the competition, and I started thinking about all the different things that I had been doing in my life, all the future events that are coming up, everything that's happening in this present moment, and all the past stuff that I've done. And future stuff, I was thinking, this is supposed to happen to me. I am going to win this. Like, I'm literally going to win this, because all this stuff needs to happen in my life, and it's going to happen regardless. I don't see another way I don't see how I'm not going to win this. Mind you, I hadn't seen like most of anyone else, just from the gala night. Present moment was, I feel so good right now doing this meditation. There's no way that I can't win this. Then when I thought about the past, I was like, all these steps that I have done and taken leading up to this point, the present moment, are bulletproof. I should definitely, I want to win this so bad, I'm going to win this. And then as well, during that time, even my friends were saying things to me, because I was trying to get to that winner's mindset. I'd let them know that. I remember the competition, they say things like, they see a poster of a guy and he's just like flexing, and he won like the year before, and they'd be like, oh, that's going to be you next year. And I said to myself, like, immediately the first thing would just be like, oh no, it's not. And then like this rush of energy would come in and go, fuck yeah, it is, you know what I mean? Really trying to just boost that positive energy, getting it right up. And yeah, so I didn't realize how much that I wanted to be in there. Then the exact same mental battles were happening side stage. Like, I saw all these dudes, there was so much competition. All the guys looked amazing, like they were so good. This guy was like, how the fucking hell am I gonna win anyone about this? And I'd see some of the pros, and you'd think you're gonna compete against them, and you go, oh no, gosh, like, frustrates you. Anyway, so, and then I was having the constant mental battle. You are good enough, do this, you've done all the work, this is supposed to happen for you, it's happening for you, it's happening for you, it's happening for you. Everything that you've done in your life is leading up to this point, there's no further way, this is going to happen. Do not let yourself falter. Go visualize yourself, do all the stuff you need to nail it. What can you do now? Make sure that you're not stressed out. Reinforce yourself, re-encourage yourself. constantly doing that, like back and forth. It was such a huge mental battle. And then, yeah, I remember one of the pros pulled me side stage after we'd been competing on stage and we fought in our stuff, and he was just like, oh man, I had you in first place. The way your body looked like this, you look like this, you're really good at posing, your lat comes down to here, like you looked awesome, man. And all that went through my fucking head was that he said, I had you in first place, which suggests that I wasn't in first place. And I just, like, at first I was like, yeah, he said that, oh man, I'm so keen. And then it clicked and I was like, he said had. Then I was like, oh fuck, I fucking lost. I must have come second. Ugh. I was like literally beating myself up, word vomiting in my brain. I was angry. I was like, fuck, I've done all this shit. I can't believe it hasn't fucking happened. Oh my God, are you serious? Like full just freaking out, screaming at myself internally, like, why the fuck? You should have done this. What are you gonna do now? Oh my God, like literally yelling at myself, freaking out. And then I caught it. Fucking caught that shit. And I went, hang on. He might not allow to be said that to me if he knew the right results. Hence, as he knew he was going to say something to me like that, he said had just in case to back himself up. Also, he wouldn't have come and said something to me if he didn't think something else. Or he may not have seen anything. How would he know? It's just a word. It's just an expression of what he was saying. Why let yourself get beat up so much like that? And I was in a battle of thinking that in one side of my brain and then thinking you're fucked in the other. And I was just going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and eventually convinced myself and unraveled it. Oh my God, you know how good that felt? It took me like literally until about 5 minutes to about to go on stage for our presentations for winning, or about 10 minutes before we were about to go on stage for that, which was 2.5 hours from when he said that thing to me. And I was just like, oh my God. I was walking up stage, watching the pros, trying to meditate, being calm, talking to my friends, spending time with myself, doing what I needed to do, literally just to have that battle to be like, no. Do not let your own mind freak yourself the fuck out. Do not do that. You need to do this. You need to win this. It is coming. It's happening for you. You've done all the stuff. There is no way that it's not going to happen. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. It was fucked. I was going crazy in my mind. They'd be like, no, but he said had. Corey. You're not allowed to think that. You need to think this and encourage yourself. It's going to happen for you. You've done it. You've visualized it. It's happening. You've had the meditation. You already know. When I did that meditation, by the way, I literally had to stand up and walk around the house. I had to lean on some shit. I was leaning on stuff. I was like, I literally had experienced winning from my meditation. Like, that's what came out of it. I was so excited that I was like, I've won. I was like, all this stuff's happening for you. You've won. Like, there's nothing else you could do. Like, I've literally won. Fuck, that feels good. Oh my God, I've won. That happened in my apartment either the day of or the day before the actual competition. And then I kept experiencing other things. But I'm so happy and grateful that I did that meditation, because that allowed me to, when those things were coming up and those hurdles were coming up and that resistance was happening, get out of it, unravel it, jump over the hurdle, all just through thinking, so that I could be my best mindset, to give myself the best opportunity, to give myself, the best chance of actually winning. Like, I needed that chance. And what I needed to do that was get my head right, get myself sorted so I can be in the best confidence that I could be in order to, oh God, puppy again, in order to win, to do my best performance on stage, to have my best outlook, to be as nice as possible to absolutely everyone there, to enjoy the experience. I needed to have the skills to do that, and I believe I achieved it, which is awesome, which come out of so much more than just, mindset training. That is like routine management, doing all the spiritual stuff, having really good conversations with some like awesome people, being extremely prepared and organized, learning to say no, making sure that all the ingredients and things that I was taking into my body were like the most best fuel possible for yourself. And yeah, and then right before we on stage, I could just convince myself 10 minutes beforehand that I fucking got this. And still obviously little doubts, but I was beating them. I was like, yeah, come on. Anyway, we were lining up on stage and it come down and I was just thinking there and I kind of was just standing there with my arms like by my sides. All my family was in the audience, I could hear them. All my friends were there, heard them too. I was standing in the big circle, lights were on me. Extremely nerve-wracking being on such a huge stage, such a big audience, such amazing athletes. And I was standing there kind of like with my eyes closed for a second, just like shaking my legs, still nervous. I was like, fucking stop legs. Stop shaking. And then I was like, nah, fuck it, they can shake. I ain't gonna stop. And then they called out, like it was just so quickly, 3rd place. Boom. 2nd place. Boom. I didn't even realise that they called these people out. And then I was like, oh God, 1st place. Well, I better get ready then. Like that's literally how confident I was. And then I was thinking, right, those last couple of seconds, I was like, you better fucking win this when I tell you what. Like there is no way. I'm like, imagine if you didn't win. How fucked that would be. And then I was like, no, I'm not allowed to imagine that. Come on. But on my outer self, I was like, I'm getting ready. And then, boom, they called my name. Number, competitor, whatever it is, Corey Boutwell wins, the new pro. All this emotion is just like released, and I just went, fuck yeah, I knew it! I fucking knew it! And I was just like fist pumping, and I was like, god damn, that meditation brought it all in. I could literally feel the energy from like my parents and my friends just from the stage, like in the audience, just like coming at me, like this amazing energy of just like release. They didn't have to deal with grumpy me, like, oh, I've got to get my meals done now, all the time. And yeah, it was amazing. Like afterwards, I had this great moment with my dad. Like he like jumped on me. What was really cool was as I walked out the auditorium, like having that win, I was like, yes, did the photos, did everything else. Some of the pros were like, congratulations. I was like, thank you. They're like, welcome to the family. I was like, thank you. And then went downstairs, walked. Like I didn't realize like what I had in vision as well in the future. It was just like I just needed to focus on this to prove myself this shit, and I was like, fuck yeah, I could fucking did it. I did it! But yeah, I come out of the door and this guy like screamed at me. He's like, you there. I was like, what is that? Your rig is fucking sick. Like this was the best thing ever. He was like, your rig is fucking sick. He was like, you can tell that you're natural and you kicked ass. Keep it natural, man. That's fucking awesome. You're a huge inspiration to me. You look like fucking Arnie up there, bro. You have the best rig ever. Biggest chest. Awesome physique. Your symmetry is fantastic. Fucking keep it up. And I was just like, oh man. For someone to say that and scream that at you, it was like, I want that every goddamn day. Like, just to know, not for the same fact that I take it in selfishly, but I help someone else. Like, he's extremely inspired and motivated. And I was like, fuck yeah, man, you can do it too. Get out there and smash that shit. And we were just like screaming at each other, just motivated, like, ah! And then my dad just come and like grabbed me and like started crying. I was like, no, I can't believe it. You did what I wanted to do when I was young. Because he wanted to be a bodybuilder and we had this awesome moment. And you know, that just, what the whole point of it, you know, being pro, doing that stuff, you know, is basically what is pro to you? What are the goals and the achievements that you have shared with your friends and family is something that you can do vulnerable to get out of, and actually as something vulnerable for yourself and go out there and achieve. Because doing something like that doesn't just affect you, and it's not just for you as well. I had an awesome moment with my dad, had an awesome, like a fantastic holiday with my partner afterwards. Like my God, we were so goddamn in love. It was like her birthday as well in that time. I like my close with my mum, sister, friends, everyone was around. I was inspiring other people. Like all these things were great. Just because you put yourself out there and did something to overcome yourself, which was like significant. And that is amazing. Like do something like that. Like if you haven't organized something, what is something, little puppy here, look, puppy, little teddy boy. And like, so what is something that you can do that you can consider yourself to be a pro in? Remember the definition I said beforehand. It's something that is out of your comfort zone, which is challenging, that forces you to be vulnerable as well. And if you can achieve something like that, you're a fucking pro. Like honestly, you are. And if you're impacting other people around you, like that is awesome. And that gives you the best excuse. That gives you the best excuse to fucking like yourself and love yourself and be confident with yourself. Like it really does. Like after that, I just felt like I stepped into me. I was like, look, here's what I'm here to do. No going back. I don't care what I'm doing. This is the way I'm going to live, whether like people like it or not, friends, family, whatever, those closest to me. And I hope I can inspire some other people, because once you've done something like that and you do step into yourself, you can do it again. Anywhere else in your life. Anywhere else in your life. You could run a marathon and then you're like, you know what, I'm going to be a fitness competitor. I'm going to go out there and get it. But what you should do, and what I did, is prior to the competition, I learned a shitload about myself. I played to my strengths. I wanted to compete. I wanted to do really good. I did natural bodybuilding. Loved it. But the natural bodybuilders, man, they're so much more better than me. You've seen those guys, their rigs are ridiculous. They are ridiculous. They look so amazing. They're so shredded. They're so big. Their glutes are like, looks like they've been cut with a knife. And some of their posing and stuff, and their energy, oh man, so good. Those guys look fantastic. There's a lot of people in the gym that have like better bodies than I do. But what I did was I thought, okay, where can I compete? WBFF, alright, so there's a good chance here. They've got the fitness show. I knew prior to that some people have literally been told before if they want to compete in fitness, they've got to lose a couple of kilos because it's fitness, it's not muscle model, it's not bodybuilding. And what the fitness does and the WBFF do is it's a fitness fashion competition. So it comes in its glitz and glam, and I love that stuff. That plays to my strength. I love showing off my stuff, getting on stage, look at this, look at my sexy body, Like I love doing that stuff, showing off, big smile on stage, and people like just real showing your stuff. And that's what they look for in that competition. So it was aligned for me. When if I wanted to get up there and boom, flex my huge muscles, get massive, get super shredded, and like squeeze my stuff and be like, bah, look at how jacked I am, which is amazing to do because I do fucking love that as well. But that's not to my strengths. That's not the best opportunity, the best chance for me to go out there and get vulnerable to do something. And I honestly think, like so many more people could turn pro, not just in professional things, but for their own journeys, whatever they're doing, if they just decided to do something that they were passionate about, or play and played to their strengths, and they just get out there and did it. What's the goal? How can I get vulnerable? And then what are the strengths that I can do, and what can I bring to do that? And am I passionate about it? Boom. And now stick to the plan, whatever plan, get optimized, and give yourself the best chance. Like, I think in general, like that is just like the best thing to say. Give yourself the best chance to succeed at whatever the fuck you're doing. But once you've done that, as I said beforehand, it's so important because then you've got the skills to apply that anywhere. Like myself now, I've learned all this discipline. So I'm doing this podcast, focusing a lot on social media and content because I want to help people. That's the only way to come out there and get this stuff done, is actually posting all of this stuff all the time. I've done all this methodology, done all this stuff. I have some clients that I'm working with, and it's awesome to see the stuff, and I'm building. I keep learning more stuff every day. I'm like, this is so good. So you can also apply it to yourself as well, and you just, you learn the best when you teach. So currently, what else I'm doing, I'm starting a matcha brand, Japanese matcha green tea, because of all the crazy freaking health benefits of that. Kill cancer, ruin the rest of it. I've always loved green tea. I've always had a thing for it. I've loved the benefits. But I remember I was watching something once, and then on some show or something, and someone was like, man, if you haven't had the experience of a large dose of some matcha from Yuji, Kyoto in Japan, you are missing out. You don't even know what high feels like until you've had one of those. Like, you think a coffee is good, you think a double shot of coffee is good. People just don't even know. You have not experienced a certain high if you can do this. And I went, oh, I want to try a bit of that. And I tried a bit of that, and it blew my brain. And then I researched like crazy on it. Like literally, it just makes you focus so hard. Best pre-workout ever, like by far. And so yeah, I'm going to get this out there. I want to start my own thing so that I can have it and sell it to my friends and family, basically, so they can get all the good stuff and also be optimized to do it too. And hopefully they buy it because I've gone through, tested all the stuff, and they like it. But yeah, as I say, I'm doing that. I'm coaching people, and I'm doing like this stuff in all online programs. I've got a whole bunch of stuff coming, like recipe ebooks. I've got training programs, how to actually train properly, and what comes for that is like routine management and routine design, and using all these different things for training, and then you're taking a holistic approach on that, so that like you, as like if you were a customer, myself is what I did, is training is the first step. Get that discipline, get that routine, learn discipline. Now that's the first step. For whatever you need to do, that's your first step. for taking the next step in your journey by giving yourself the best chance and the best opportunity to do stuff. Training program, I have a free fasting program coming out, a full free fasting course of all the fasting stuff that I've got. And then from next, it'll be like a recovery plan. We've got a mobility and stability recovery plan coming out. And then I have it's going to be like a complete diet optimized nutrition program for a whole bunch of stuff that I've found out, all research based. It's all research, studies everywhere. And then there's like confidence things. I've got a accountability like check-ins book that you can use in order to do that. And then like how to love yourself, how to deal with stress, what are we going to do about it, blah blah blah, all the rest of it, and work up that hierarchy that I talked about in the second podcast. So yeah, I thought I would share all of that stuff with you, and I hope it got you really motivated and inspired to go do some of the stuff. But the main point I wanted to get out with was, with me starting these brands, with me doing this coaching, with me doing this all these different training programs, and for you to figure out how to be your completely best, total, optimized, ultimate self, the reason that I wanted to let you know that I'm doing those things is because it takes up a lot of time to do that stuff. And it's really quite demanding, as well as all the social media content stuff. But I have the discipline and the skills that I learned from becoming pro that I can put into this stuff to go out there and achieve it. And I'm just doing it at a rate which I never thought I could do once I figured out how actual big this is, and I am getting a lot of help from people. But that has happened because I've been disciplined, of doing all the things. I'm operating like myself. I feel like I'm operating at a higher frequency, and it's literally just attracting the right people into my life. It's crazy. It's like, I think to myself, oh God, I need this. It'd be great if I had this person in my life, someone like this. Keep working, doing all the stuff, giving myself the best chance and the best opportunity. Boom, next minute they come in, and I'm getting this like help from professionals for doing all this stuff, but I'm getting it done. And that's the main point. So what I wanted to say to you guys, again, sorry, keep going on, was what are you turning pro in? What's the goal? What's the vulnerability? How can you work to something? Put your health and fitness first in order to learn those skills. And then how can you apply that for the rest of the stuff in your life? What else do you want to do? How do you want to live your life? Like what's awesome? What could you see yourself doing? Like once a year, I want to have the amount of money so I can go to Thailand or America and get a whole bunch of stem cell replacement done, so I've got like a young body, all my joints and stuff, and everything's working good. To get all this, skin therapy done, go, the hyperbaric oxygen chambers, the float tanks, get all the different IV stuff, like inject me with all the vitamins. I want to afford to do that, and I basically got to work my ass off to do it, and that's one thing that I'd love to do. So we're doing all this stuff to go out there and do it. Thought I'd share that with you guys. Hope you took something out of this. It's some good shit. Yeah. Biggest love. This is a real good episode. Take some notes if y'all need. Follow me on all the stuff. Subscribe to the podcast if you got anything out of this. If you didn't, then you just tell me to get fucked. And catch you later. Big love.